exactly how AL want to play, right? They'll be super, super comfortable with this draft. It allows Tarzan specifically to join up for side lane plays. It allows a ton of follow-up.
Here, when it comes to the health bar, Shanks won't have his ultimate, but does Chovy having his ultimate matter if he doesn't have the health to walk over? We see Gen.G still looking for a contest. I think wanna desperately try and get at least a grub.
They've done a good job of keeping Hope gated from coming in through that top side of the river. Chovy being forced away again in that mid lane. Gen.G are the first on the grubs, but AL have secured one. TP coming in. Tarzan looking for this. Can't land as Canyon gets a smite. TP from Keen. Call at the forward. Duro with a double knock-up. And onto the back line. Kyle is already knocked up and taken out. First blood to Gen.G. The dive in from Tarzan, but now he's in the middle of the enemy team. Tarzan falls second. Chovy goes between worlds. And AL is sent to the afterlife. Hope able to kill Canyon off, but Hope should go down. Flandra with a flame spitter. Will be able to get one of his own. Keen can't get in range and doesn't have the mana to kill off Hope or Shanks. Ruler's going to be able to walk away. Keen comes in. The curtain's open, but Shanks is just outside the window, unable to be connected there. Flandre takes the fine couple of shots. Kale coming across as well. Shanks has enough mana for another disintegrate. The electrocute procs, and Keen will fall in the end. A 3-for-3 exchange.
When all is said and done, it's a relatively even trade. Even the grubs are 1-to-1.
Yeah, I was going to say, no one actually has cleared out that final grub. But that was a really, really messy fight. And Tarzan might be in trouble.
He's going to try and walk away from this one. Canyon comes in with a Wind Becomes Lightning, but doesn't follow it up with an Audacious Charge. And now they turn it back onto Duro, because Hope is here, and he rings Eternal. Tarzan heals up through the Triumph, and Canyon's down as well. AL will get the cherry on top of this cake with a grub to boot.
Yeah, I was going to say, meanwhile, Flandre is just cleaning up that last grub for AL. These are the combinations I love seeing out of this team. #1 versus #1, as we see AL are going to end up getting the first rotation on this Drake, thanks to being able to push in that mid wave.
Yeah, not going to be any contest from Gen.G. They'll be able to get a plate for their troubles.
Someone's looking for him. Chovy stays around, doesn't finish the recall. Can use the weirding to get out of vision for a second. Jumps forward between worlds as well. With the TP coming in, AL might call off the dive, but they decide against it. Chovy able to get out there. And now Keen's on the chase. Tarzan has to flash. Should be able to escape.
Yeah, nice response. Pulling the TP from Keen, able to get Tarzan's flash out of there.
Fighting!
Knockback. Unbreakable Will so powerful at this moment of the game. The Equalizer not really going to hit onto too much. TP coming in from Chovy as well as Canyon is trading with Flandre. The curtain's open and Hope goes in with a killer instinct. Ruler flashes away, but now Keen's here to save his AD carry. He can't do that! Kyle up towards the top side with the Grand Cypher coming in. He's going to fall first. Flandre getting chased down by Canyon as well, but he'll get the kill with a flame spitter. Now Tarzan's on the face of Chovy and will continue to chase him down. Duro, bird to a crisp. It's well done states for AL as they win out the fight.
It's mayhem on the Rift, and AL come out on top.
Tarzan's team fight targeting, as well as Hope just kind of going really, really deep in the back line, chasing after Ruler.
Because the moment I saw that Jin setup, I thought that Gen.G actually had the angle.
And that does allow, again, Flandre to get some key one-on-one time with this top lane tier 1 turret, which he will take down for anyone's legend. And additionally, they're dropping this Herald in mid, so they're going to polish up that mid tier 1 as well. Really nice map play from AL in response to this Drake taken.
They're still going.
And they're looking for the tier 2 as well, with the TP coming in from Flandre. Maybe they thought they could fight the Drake, thinking Gen.G were a little bit slower on that neutral objective than they were. AL will get the feat of strength, though.
These skirmishes, they're not really hitting the mark.
And again, this is going to give Shanks time on this bot tier 1. He should be able to take this down as long as he can thin out the wave enough, and there we go. So some really nice map pressure coming out of AL. This composition is kind of designed for it, right? They really want to get ahead, especially before those Ornn items coming in.
Still pushing inside, obviously has the TP available. We'll see if AL is going to fall from the bait. Gen.G, I think, looking for the 5v5.
Yeah, Duro going in, TP coming out immediately from AL as they want to try and trade it back. Hope the first target here. The knockup coming out from Keen as well, but the Equalizer now to the back line, and they haven't killed off Hope or Shanks. Keen forced down to about 2/3 HP as Hope dives forward, and Keen will die first. AL once again turn around the fight.
The ult!
And Starfall, immediate stun onto Chovy, who jumps backwards between worlds. Kyle going in with the Magnet Storm, surviving for oh so long. The chase continues as Hope has found a perfect flank onto Ruler. Ruler down, Juro to follow. Chovy flashes to safety, but the rest of Gen.G do not have that luxury. Canyon has to dash away to the minion wave, and AL will turn their eyes to Atakan.
Hope getting revenge on one of the 80 carries he was replaced by, right? I want to talk about Hope for a little bit as we see anyone's legend on this Atakan, because it's not that he's been bad, right? It's that his teams have always been like, okay, but we found someone better in Viper. We found someone better.
That clean that worries me somewhat. Flandre does have the TP available. Gen.G, they're down about 4.5k gold. The 2-item spikes have been hit, but AL ready to contest this.
Flandre on his way has the equalizer, also has the Seekers if he wants to get a little bit aggressive. Keen on that front line. Tarzan jumping onto Ruler. There's the equalizer follow-up. Juro with a good knockup, but Hope cannot be stifled. Ruler down. Between worlds goes Chovy, but they just don't have the damage. Canyon's on top of Hope, but he supercharges his way to safety. And Chovy once again is running for the hills. AL wipe away Gen.G.
They take down Gen.G. They get the Drake.
Keen gets out as well.
Hope is absolutely stellar in these fights. They're going to be able to clean up Chovy on the backside of this.
So Keen barely gets out. Chovy uses his TP, still doesn't make it. They pick fights and what they do when they're behind in the game, but in this game, I'm not seeing it so far. We're going to have to see some absolutely immaculate team fighting from them, but it's not like even taking into account some of the scaling right now. Ruler also sitting on an upgraded Ghostblade is in their favor, because the damage from AL never really is going to fall off. The lack of front line maybe becomes a problem down the line, but right now they're down. 7.5k gold and Tarzan is looking.
Equalizer coming out. Tarzan looking for the flank onto Ruler. Kyle there for the follow-up. The Magnet Storm comes out. They just have so many tools in their toolbox. AL can miss everything and still kill off Gen.G. Chovy and Canyon trying to get back to the safety of their base, but Tarzan's having none of it. He'll pull Chovy back. The chase continues. The spear is ulting into the base. Kyle dashing forward as well as AL have used Tibbers to tank up that mid lane inhibitor tower, and Chovy falls where he should be safe. AL now on the inhibitors.
Gen.G have not been able to protect Ruler in these fights, especially against this composition. Once it got rolling, all eyes are on Ruler. One member of AL is diving, and he is out.
This is domination. It's a shellacking. Gen.G 20 series undefeated, and AL come out in game one and have shown them what they're about. Gen.G can't defend, and the LPL shines strong. 1-0 in this best of 5.
This time, it is going to be a lot more reliant on the Poppy and the TF, who I think are a bit more telegraphed. Last time, they had so many ways to start the fights, and I think it's really what overwhelmed Gen.G. And Canyon's going to use that to get himself some chickens here. Just farming up a storm as often as there they go!
The paranoia coming out from Canyon. Destiny, the fear procs just in time to stop the escape from Shanks.
And that's exactly what I was looking for from Canyon's first ult, right? We knew he was going to take over with the level 6. The 2v2 is still fighting up here, but I don't think anything's going to come.
What's happening? Keen is just going to be able to push in towards that wave. I don't think the Grubs are going to go the way of Gen.G, which with a composition like this, I think is a big deal. AL also have a lot of split pushing power. We'll see how much Gen.G is able to get. If they can get Keen even further ahead while also picking up a Dragon, they might not feel too bad about it, but particularly with TF and Jax, and denying it from Gwen and Azir, that's a big deal.
Yeah, and we do see the TPs coming out towards that bot lane, but Gen.G are going to be able to clean up this Drake. It doesn't look like AL are going to be able to do anything about it, right? So this is more of the classic Gen.G that we're used to seeing, right?
Actually getting on top of Gen.G.
As we see, not a super pushing Blades game. However, Gen.G were easily able to get the vision in first rotation onto this Drake, although AL are looking to contest.
Keeper's Verdict comes out, Keen dodges it. Ruler doesn't do the same. Flandre now looking for a flank of his own as Canyon is going to be healed up, but he gets the double counter-strike stun into the Glacial Fish, and I think Duro is just done for. Flandre will pick up AL's first kill of the game.
And Braum are some of the best zone control that you can get. The threat of a counter-strike is always there, and Banana Brush controls there for Kyle. Teleport comes in.
Kyle's going to get hooked, but puts up the Unbreakable immediately. Glacial Fissure going down, only hits onto Duro. Keeper's Verdict being channeled by Tarzan. He doesn't finish it. There's the Paranoia. Trophy looking for the flank position, but he's stunned off first. Canyon falling low, the jump back in with the counter-strike from Flandre. Chovy and Keen, though, on the backline with the Emperor's Divide. Chovy's going to fall Flandre. The Dawning Shadow, he jumps away from it. Keen trying to snip through Shanks, but Shanks flashes the wall. And in the end, a 1-for-1 exchange.
1-for-1, and Hope had hopped into that Herald just to immediately drive it into mid. You see the entirety of the pit and the back of the pit.
It's important.
Big here for Keen, taking that first tower will put Gen.G either a kill or a neutral objective away from claiming the feats of strength.
But the big thing is the damage that Gen.G have been able to get onto these side lane turrets, right? Chovy able to get damage on that top tier one. He should be able to take that down. Ruler getting the RFC right before this potential Drake contest.
Chovy has his TP. We see Shanks running from base, didn't have it off the Unshield spellbook. Keeper's Verdict, Tarzan stops the channel on it. There's the Destiny pop to give vision. Keen's going to jump into the pit. The hook lands, Unbreakable going down as well. Depth Judge used onto Hope. Keen trading down towards the bottom side as we see so much damage happening in the pit. Keen's going to get the kill. The Dawning Shadow with the Emperor's Divide in from Chovy, and now it's all on Shanks and Hope to try and survive, but Gen.G are having none of it. They try and chase them out. The Drake almost killing Chovy. Hope dashes back in, straight into a dredge line, and he gets 2 for it. Shanks looking for a little bit more. Everyone's so low. Has that gold card locked in. Ruler is able to get a bit of range advantage here as Shanks now needs to run away. Has no cards left to pick. Chovy dashes in, and it's the ace for Gen.G.
And although Hope almost turns it around with a 2-item spike, it's the team fighting from Gen.G. This time working out nicely. The turn onto Flandre, beautifully done there.
With 69 stacks, it's a nice number for 22 minutes into the game.
Sorry, I can't help but laugh at that. I'm 5. Another thing I did want to point out, as Gen.G are starting up this Otacon, is their attention to side waves, right? They've had their side wave pushed out pretty consistently.
Verdict, double TP coming out. Last Embrace going to hit onto the Poppy. Duro knocked up, but I believe he buffered a hook out of that or something. Keen looking for the flank position. AL take control of the Otacon. Ruler low. Shanks has a gold card locked in, but Keen uses the Hallowed Miss to dodge away from it. Counter-strike coming in as well as Tarzan is knocked up and snipped down by Keen. Canyon falling low. He doesn't get the smite off in time. Absolutely anyone's Legends will claim the Otacon. No, it's Chovy actually that takes it in the end. As AL now on the retreat, the hook just short. As AL managed to get out, but Gen.G win the fight.
It was a team effort. Literally everyone showed up on that Otacon feed.
He now is actually working his way down towards the mid lane, which really implies it wouldn't be up in time. Heal used by anyone's Legends just to get a little bit of extra health underneath this tower. The tower, the target for Gen.G, and they will secure it. Put down the Sun Disc as well.
Yeah, the sieging power of this Gen.G comp is obviously disgusting.
Canyon is there as well. Flandre is going to catch the bot wave, uses the counter-strike. There's the Destiny as well for a little bit more vision. Keeper's Verdict comes down. No one is found guilty, and the hook connects immediately. Tarzan has to flash away, and Gen.G haven't lost any health yet. They continue to push forward onto Kyle. Canyon going in with the Paranoia as well. Flandre looking for the counter-strike, but all of Gen.G scatter, and he finds no one. He'll go to an early grave as Gen.G turn their eyes towards the soul.
And again, you see just how difficult it is, even when AL are trying to set up. If Gen.G are parked in a spot, it's so hard for them to come in, even with the TF ult coming through for vision, right?
Hextech Soul is there.
That top side has the Emperor's Divide, the only ultimate available for Gen.G.
Keen has his.
7,000 on the Baron. Canyon trying to get in here, doesn't have Smite. Canyon doesn't have Smite and can't secure it, but Gen.G will look for the fight afterwards. Hope might just have to jump out of the back of the pit as the Baron has been taken by anyone's Legend, and Hope just about escapes with his life, then has to flash, but Keen's on the chase. Hope with a good arcane shift over towards the
Hextech Soul!
The Hextech Soul for the slow is enough. Keen gets the kill.
Tarzan's
taking
He's the only one with the Baron buff left. But again, you're going to see immediately they're going to start pushing on the top side. Keen was able to take out that tier 2 in.
Pick up a little bit, but even if that Baron, as it did, went the way of AL, the fact that not only do they give up a bunch of kills, but give up the Hextech Soul, it's just so hard to imagine that they're going to be able to get any value out of it, as Flandre does have reinforcements on the way, and it looks like Gen.G not really wanting to veer too deep into enemy territory.
Yeah, Not sure where Tarzan is, not sure where Kyle is. Now they'll go
boy.
deep and get some vision.
The collapse.
Duro's looking for the flank. Tarzan rooted with the last embrace. Chovy's here as well. Keen's on his way towards the back of the fight. Keeper's verdict coming out will knock away Keen, and perhaps anyone's legend will think this is a fight they can take. They can't.
Canyon.
Right now with the paranoia coming out. Shanks getting chased down. Kyle down to half HP. Tarzan the same. The Hextech Soul doing so much work as Keen comes in and snips them to pieces. Chovy flashing forward. Blandre with the counter-strike once again. Just can't land the stun. Gen.G wipe away anyone's legend.
And a clean ace for Gen.G. Heralds the end of the second game. Objectives going their way. The pace pulled back. AL not able to draw them into the chaos the way they did in that game number 1.
Ruler flashing the JDG emote as he sieges in onto the inhibitor and the Nexus.
Gen.G show that there's a reason in series they haven't lost in 20 of them.
With this style of composition, right, the amount of backline threat that's there, kind of crazy, but the same can be said for AL. Possible dive being set up here. We'll see if Canyon actually is going to commit. Definitely wants his scuttle first.
Yeah, he'll want that first, but Keen is doing quite well.
Always a little bit risky to dive a Scion though, especially when he has a cookie. Even if you pull off the dive effectively, the zombie form comes out. It does look like Canyon's on his way across here. There's a ward that's going to spot him. Flandre down to 150 HP, pops the cookie early. Canyon hit with a decimating smash. No one tanking the tower now, but there's only one minion left. Oh, good flash from Flandre, but Canyon follows it perfectly. The zombie form will chase him. Canyon has to flash to escape.
That is 2 flashes for a flash, or rather 1 flash. Keen didn't actually end up having to for a flash and a kill. You still take that. And with the level 6 of Shanks, Hextech Alternator, the cookie in his inventory could have locked for some damage as Tarzan.
Still has the flash here. Canyon going in. There's the Weaver's Wall as well. Good stun onto Chovy. Hope comes in for a bit of damage. The seismic shove not connecting there. Shanks now looking for the flank. A good piercing arrow from Hope will take Duro down alongside Chovy, and in the end, Gen.G don't find the fight.
I see some question mark things. What's Crab doing there?
He went on a magical journey, man. Good stun with the Cosmic Binding. Canyon now the target. Hits 6, though. Has the cease and desist. Vault Breaker stopped by the pillar. Canyon will cease and desist forward, but Shanks is still on the chase. Another Cosmic Binding connects, and Canyon falls. He was too greedy for the Crab.
Into the side lanes, and the Akali ever gets on top of you, you're in trouble as AL, they are looking again.
Canyon doesn't have flash right now. Duro and Chovy fighting off towards the top side. Tarzan on the Drake should be able to secure this with his smite. And in the end, Gen.G started up the Drake, but anyone's legends very happily will take that gift.
For the trigger pull, right? They are the ones that want to start the fight, blow a target up and go from there. Whereas AL may be looking to stow a Bard. That ultimate is available for Kyle and not for Duro.
Canyon goes in, the Vault Breaker doesn't hit the Weaver's Wall from Chovy to try and separate cease and desist. But now Canyon's on the wrong side of the wall from the rest of his team, and Hope just deletes him. Keen in the middle of the Public's execution is only going to hit on Kyle, but he flashes forward and he will kill off Hope. Flandre now with the decimating smash. Chovy flashing up towards the top side. Perfect execution from Shanks for the follow-up. The 5-point strike, not enough, but Shanks will still find it. Dodges away from Duro as well. Keen's going to dally in around the blue buff, surviving for now, but should be chased down by Kyle and Flandre.
And Gen.G, they need to be synced up, but it's anything but. Canyon goes in, there's no quickness available yet, the damage isn't there. You see Shanks, I think, looking to get that base in, finish his first item and make his way over as Chovy. Do they have the damage to take this down before the wall goes down?
I think the answer is most decidedly not. Unstoppable Onslaught coming out from Flandre as he looks for the backline. The Drake the target firstly here for Gen.G. Tarzan stepping forward, knocked back, the smite comes out, and it's Canyon. Cease and desist coming out as well as they look for the backline. Perfect execution. Canyon's gonna fall. Meanwhile, Shanks on the backline looking for a little bit more. He's on Chovy. Can chase forward, dodges the seismic shove, and Flandre takes the kill in the end. Shanks still going in, dodges the battle dance and the grand entrance as well. Keen trying to get in, but Shanks' fancy feet are just sublime. Decimating smash will hit Ruler, but no real follow-up.
Big for Gen.G, but it isn't going to change the fact that right now AL is the ones running the map. We'll see if Gen.G want to fully commit to the contest. And as I say that, Keen is TPing.
Gen.G looking for the battle again. Perfect execution available for Shanks. Public execution available for Keen. He jumps in. It's Kyle the target. There's the quickness as well, and Kyle is down. Duro will secure the kill. Meanwhile, on the backline, once again, it's Shanks, but they still have the cease and desist. He has to flash away from the Mega Inferno Bomb, and then dashes his way away as well with a perfect execution. The Rift Herald secured for AL. Weaver's Wall coming in from Chovy. Seismic Shove does not connect. Flandre on the front line. Unstoppable Onslaught won't be enough. Hope has to flash the wall. Keen's going to flash to follow him. Flandre tracing the rest of Gen.G away. Keen's going to die. Hope goes down as well. In the end, AO do get the Rift Herald, but the fight is anything but clean.
Yeah, they're going to see this Drake a little bit of a optimistic TP.
TP sucks.
Very
coming
kind.
in from Flandre. There, as we see AL now rotating towards this top side of the map, get a really nice amount of damage on this top side turret, actually able to take all of it. Yep.
That's gone.
Yeah, with the frozen domain as well, it's just so quick. Quickness coming out, though. Double TP immediately invested from Gen.G as Duro looking to dance around this. Keen trying to fight it as well with the pillar going down. Keen continues to chase Chovy with the Weaver's Wall onto Shanks, but the unstoppable onslaught from Flandre will distract Gen.G enough. Canyon has the Mega Blast Cone. Volt Breaker across would get him in range, but in the end, anyone's legend able to disengage.
Winning the battle. He's actually scrapping.
Took off Chovy. Poor guy, man. Keen's going to be able to take the top lane tower. As much as Flandre can defend, he can't stop the push coming out from Keen.
Is there for Tarzan. This could be a big fight if Gen.G is able to get a soul point, and Otacon is right there. And Gen.G need to retake control of River because AL are set up nicely.
Keen has his teleport. He's going to TP down towards that bot lane tri-bush. The Dragon already down at 5,000 HP. A flank position as well for Ruler, but he's caught out by Shanks and immediately assassinated! Shanks him as Duro now with the quickness can only run and hide. Keen the next target. Duro comes back in and it's a double for Shanks. Anyone's legends collapse immediately.
Dragon into potentially Otacon. They should just rotate immediately over. What a play from Shanks, and also what a setup from AL. Again, making sure this Akali gets out of the early laning phase, is able to immediately, in this particular fight, hop directly onto Ruler, and this was also the problem we had in game one, right? When AL were able to jump and get that early pick.
Really at all for Gen.G. They're trying to get it through the mid lane, put double control wards down. Chovy now stepping in as well. Seismic Shove not connecting. Keen dashing forward onto Tarzan. Flandre forced down towards the bottom side by Canyon. Tempered Fate only hits onto Duro. Canyon still chasing Flandre out, but he still doesn't take any damage. Good explosive minefield though from Ruler will keep AL from really being able to enter the river again. Canyon down on the Drake, 4,000 on it. Tarzan turning onto Keen, but he has a GA. Unstoppable Onslaught goes between the uprights. Seismic Shove is going to connect. Canyon dashing back in. Keen being kept up towards the top side, but AL are scattered. Flandre down, goes into the zombie form. The quickness coming out as well. Duro chases forward, and Gen.G have delayed for long enough. The Weaver's Wall in from Chovy, the dash away from Shanks. Unraveled Earth will get the stun onto him, and Keen continues to chase. Shanks has to flash away, but AL have already lost 3.
And the hero there is Keen, right? He distracted.
Keen goes in, Hope goes down. Shanks the only one standing from AL.
Just as I'm saying, the hero of that fight was Keen. He distracted and took so much damage while Flandre was not able to do the same for AL. AL essentially end up leashing this Drake for Gen.G. Gen.G take it, they take the fight, and now they're going to take Baron.
The poke is always going to be favored for Gen.G because they can sustain a lot more, and with both that Talia as well as the Ziggs, as long as you hold off on actually pulling the trigger.
Power coming out of Ruler's Ziggs as Flandre is in trouble again.
The Weaver's Wall separating him from the rest of AL. Chovy will take the kill. It's really difficult for anyone's legend actually to get on that backline.
Without Shanks on the flank, with Keen threatening to be able to dive on key targets.
And Chovy pushing mid, we saw there as well. Ruler just using his ultimate to gain to clear rather a wave in mid. That mid lane turret still standing. Satchel used. The Shanks Should be able to get back to his turret or not.
Assist. Duro's going in with the quickness as well as they look for the chase onto Shanks, who's popped the stopwatch. Knocked back with the seismic shove as well as Shanks just doesn't get an opportunity to move. Gen.G have woken up in this game and AL just cannot answer them. Duro dashing forward, getting onto Hope, knocked back with the satchel charge as well as Keen continues to chase. Flandre in the middle of 5. What can you do in the face of so much hate? Gen.G will lose 1. They'll clean up the fight and they'll look towards the Nexus.
Duro in his first international, popping off on that Rakan, able to follow up on every engage. And Gen.G, with this Red Bull Baron power play, it's not even going to time out, it looks like.
Nope.
No one's alive on AL. Gen.G about to get to match point.
They just rip control of the game away from anyone's legend. And they are 1 game away from their 21st series in a row.
Yeah, I mean, we're full like circle gaming kind of from AL, right? Like as soon as they're able to get down AoE, this ends up being a disastrous comp and very early control of this Drake. So Gen.G will be picking that up very, very early on in this game. Start that Drake stacking super early, right off of that lane swap.
Tarzan still here.
Snuck behind them. Duro and Ruler, though, should be able to walk away. Good route onto Duro means that Tarzan can just wait out the flag and drag combo. Duro the first to fall. Tarzan looks for a little bit more, but can't quite catch out Ruler.
Hitting 1 should be doable.
Kyle, who is this Hope here, is level 6. So he has the Pop Blossom if he wants to go for the fight. Switches into Tarzan, flag and drag in. There's a Hero's Entrance as well as they look for Ruler. There's the Pop Blossom from Kyle across the wall immediately. Canyon able to dodge away from it with a Hound's Pursuit, though. Ruler forced up towards the top side. 1 grub already secured for anyone's legend. They'll take the second, and they will take the third alongside it.
I jokingly called this circle gaming, but that's exactly what you want, right? Like the setup.
Chovy going in onto Hope, immediately dashing forward. The Pop Blossom stolen away. Hope has to flash. Kyle will fall for it, though.
And it feels like a repeat of the play that AL found against Gen.G in game number 1.
There's the the taunt, so he's going to go on to Chovy. Kyle forced out the all-out on Hope. It's Hope that he's got. I thought it was the shape splitter, but Keen finds the all-out that he wanted, and Hope goes down.
Might end up being what the game revolves around. AL, though, setting up this objective.
Shanks is heading up from mid.
Canyon trying to get in for the steal. There's the eye there for him as well. Could use that with the smite. Tarzan will secure it. Pop Blossom on the backline. Ruler with a cleanse, but he's caught by the strangled thorns. The engage as well with a flash taunt. Keen getting chased away by Flandre. But he will manage to survive. Rifthold picked up by anyone's legend.
On the top side.
And with those sums not being available, Duro in particular is so susceptible to Tarzan as Gen.G's looking to fight.
Tarzan's being really greedy here. Chovy has stolen away the Cataclysm, but a good make it rain from Hope will slow them down enough. Tarzan going back in towards Chovy. The flank position as well from Shanks is not the best. He's knocked back and taken out. Gen.G claimed the feat of warfare. Cataclysm flashed away by Hope as well. As in the end, AO just a little bit too greedy, staying around for that skull grab. Looks like Chovy's actually going to be stopped by Shanks. He's TPing behind them right now. Shanks on his way down, has that Hero's Entrance. The Dragon down to 5,000 HP.
Will be spotted.
TP coming across, as you say, Chovy spotted. Shanks looking for it. Tarzan goes in. There's a Hero's Entrance. Cataclysm Mob. And that's the wombo combo that anyone's legends were looking for. Keen goes all out, dashes forward onto Hope and will get the kill. He'll fall for it. Good on Topuz with a 3-man knockup, but only Canyon and Chovy stay standing.
Really, really nicely done from AL. And you see the power of these ultimates when they're combined. They see Chovy coming in on the flank, and that is the go button, right? As soon as Shanks is able to go in, they end up cleaning up that Drake, and that's huge. They stop this early Drake stacking.
Both an incredible amount of AP as well as ability haste, and Neferi as well as Cassante in those fights. I think you're going to be feeling good about as possible
pick. Chovy goes in, they're going to go for the fight. The flash away, but there's the Cataclysm for the follow-up. The taunt comes out, and Chovy is locked in the pit. He'll fall. Gen.G start up the Atakan. I think for anyone's legend, the only thing you're ruining in this early game is the fact that Tarzan's the one that's got all the kills. 4-0-1 on this Jarvan. Does have a 1.5k gold lead, but obviously Jarvan, as the game goes on, falls off a little bit. Chovy caught out again as Flandre is looking for the chase. He can just dash across the wall. There's the Cataclysm, though, in from Tarzan. Hero's Entrance there for the follow-up, and Chovy has no flash to escape. Hope takes the kill. Chovy falls for the second time this game.
And Chovy,
8,000, yeah, I think it's just gone. Good call from Gen.G to sneak this one away. Pings come out from Tarzan as he spots that this is happening, but he can't get in range to get the smite off, and Gen.G pull off a heist.
Great recognition of the fact that AL are kind of resetting on this map, right?
Back into the action.
As we see, clearing out vision.
Oh, there's the TP.
Right back in.
That's aggressive.
Keen, Pop Blossom onto Ruler. Tarzan there for the follow-up. Cataclysm coming in, the hero's entrance, stolen away by Chovy. Will keep Ruler alive. Keen goes in with the all-out, pulling Tarzan back into the team. Canyon looking for the flank onto Flandre. He'll go in with the hands, but Super Keen's already dead. Juro low as well. The hero's entrance countered by Shanks as he dashes forward. Chovy down, Ruler and Juro and Canyon, the only 3 left alive.
And Canyon was waiting, but to what end? AL, they weren't thinking about going back. Flandre not looking to retreat to the safety of his jungle. Instead, they were just playing forward.
And even when he did end up going on to Flandre, Shanks is there to help protect him, right? Which is absolutely massive.
They were able to keep Ruler alive for a decent amount, but it's the decision of Canyon to stay in the brush. I think Flandre as well hasn't died this game. Been, I think, having great positioning in the fights as well. Thus far has paid off for AL as Keen.
Should be able to get away from this one. Goes all out onto Shanks. He's going to knock back. He's taken out immediately by Flandre. Mum comes in. There's the all-out, in fact, as the Cataclysm comes out onto Ruler. Hero's entrance with the follow-up. There's Pop Blossom as well, and AL are not done with this fight yet. Canyon trying to escape. Chovy so late on the TP, but Canyon's already down, and there's a Baron available for AL.
This smolder pick from Flandre is absolutely showing up massively. I think I owe him an apology. I think you owe him an apology as well,
yeah, you're in the clear. It's all on me here, Emily, as AL looking to take Baron and bring us to the promised game number... Well, actually, he didn't promise, but game number 5!
The game number 5 I wanted, but didn't promise.
Their jungle is not their own anymore. They do have 2 items on Chovy, 3 items on Ruler. Canyon is strong, you know, Black Cleaver, Spear of Sojourn is a lot, but they are just all so far in the hole when you look at their respective counterparts on AL.
He's strong, but this Nefiri pick has not been able to have the impact that Gen.G would have wanted. By contrast, Tarzan has absolutely controlled the pace of this game as we see the siege potential of this team coming out from both Hope and Flandre here. Shanks cleaning up that tier 2 in the mid. And they're just going to kind of go back and forth between these lanes.
Anyone's Legends are just walking. They're just walking menacingly at Gen.G, and they're having to retreat. Flandre looking for the inhibitor here down towards the bottom side. Will be able to secure it with the Baron buff up for another wave.
Going.
Using the Shape Splitter as well to eat those Cupcake. The Yordle Snapchat. Chovy goes in, Pop Blossom is going to land the hero's entrance there for the follow-up, but the time! Hope Untouched just melts through Gen.G. Ruler and Juro, the only 2 left alive here. AL, do they have the waves to push in?
I think they do. They're going to try. They have a Grubs, so I think they have it.
They have the Grubs, but the backdoor bonus, I think that cannon minion is too far away, so that tower actually gets a bit tankier. There's a wave coming in bot side, and it should be there in time. Still 30 seconds before any reinforcements arrive for Gen.G. Anyone's Legends strike back in game 4 and will take us to Silver Scrapes. Gragas known as a bit of a counter into the Camille if she goes for the hookshot wall dive. Obviously you can body slam, and then you have the explosive cask as well.
That's the big thing. There is so much safety to keep these big carries.
Getting back into this game, and Push is able to get that ward out. Canyon.
Shanks with the early flash, but Canyon's here for the chase. Chovy had the Rune Prison, and down goes Shanks. Canyon secures first blood. You're like, how important this series and this MSI is for the LPL. Like, BLG last year made 2 finals, weren't able to take the win in either of them. If AL can take down Gen.G here, it would just be such a great sign for the region. As Gen.G have taken 2 of the Grubs. Keen goes in onto Tarzan, lands the stun. Kyle trying to get in there as well. Chovy and Duro there. Tarzan, good double impale. The Stand United is going to keep him alive, but now the explosive cast coming out as well. As Gen.G are looking for more. Hope down. Shanks and Flandre trying to retreat, but the Hexagol Ultimatum will lock them up. There's the Blade Caller to follow up, and Shanks is dead. Flandre tries to jump the wall, and just as I was saying, it would be so good for anyone's Legends. Gen.G have other ideas.
I think for AL, we saw what is close to an ideal fight, because the amount of life that they were able to breathe into Tarzan, who looked like he was dead on arrival, right? There was the shield, there was the disengage from Gragas. They still kept him alive for a good amount of time. Is Hope!
Lands the hook onto Hope, and Hope almost gets out. Canyon able to take him down in the end, and now AO need to retreat. The Impel comes in, but there's a Realm War behind them as well. Tarzan and Shanks in the middle of 5. They'll get Canyon, but Shanks will fall next. Tarzan looking for Juro. Juro just walks away from them. Gen.G are absolutely shellacking AL.
Very aggressive play from Gen.G, right? Actually doing this through fight, something we don't often see. As mentioned, how they often get their leads is laning slowly into cross map, into you look at your turrets, they're gone, you're down 4,000 gold just by minions. But AL, I think in this series also not letting them really play that style, and in this game thus far, Gen.G has been bringing the fight to them, as Flandre almost has his TP available. But the Drake is already gone. It's just the first dragon, get a numbers advantage and then play from there. But you can't just try and play a normal 5v5, particularly not with this Blitzcrank being on the prowl.
Kyle has a flank though onto Ruler, the cleanse away immediately. Juro still looking for more here as the TP comes in. Kyle has to flash away. Glacial Prison doesn't connect. Counter TP. Tarzan only with the Impale on one, and now Keen is there. Hexagon Ultimatum is going to take him onto the tower. The Sand United enough to shield up Tarzan for now. The shutdown comes over to Hope as the chase continues. Shanks joins the fight, and he's spitting out Venom. He finds the shutdown. Ruler, the flash away! The Blade Caller, but then pull it in from Juro's not enough! Shanks has found poison, and Gen.G will suffer. Tarzan chasing further forward, double twin fangs! AL roar into life!
Tarzan gets the suppress, and then just watch Shanks as he goes through this fight, coming in from the top side.
It's a second item. I think that Starix is going to be something when the Camille gets way more backline access, can stay alive for a lot longer. The base AD always going to be feeling great as Gen.G looking to start up this only second Drake of the game, the Hextech Drake here.
Kind of blessed in game 3 with how quickly they were being taken.
Gone.
It's gone.
Yeah, anyone's Legends deciding not to fight it. They have the Rift Herald, that's going to charge in. Feats will go over to Gen.G. Rift Herald will take the tower, Realm Warp in by Gen.G, but couldn't get there quickly enough to defend. I think that will be all that happens in that sequence, as it's just a tower for a Dragon Chain exchange.
Tries to kind of get this map pressure and Prio to be able to set up for this, as we see Chovy with the support of Duro here, able to take down this tier 1. Really nice from Gen.G. They're going to be able to get vision on this top side prior to the Otacon spawn.
Really across the board for everyone. Shanks on the side of AL, the main target for Gen.G, but the disengage that AL have is crazy. Gen.G, though, have the advantage of setting up shop first and might be looking to fish with that Blitzcrank hook.
Keen also taking the bot lane tier 1. Shanks had to back all the way off there. Does have his flashback up, also has finished the Bloodletter's Curse. So taking Smite off the Unsealed Spellbook. Ruler's going to start up the Dragon. It's a 9,000, 7,000, 5,000 with the Blade Caller. AL needs to get in here. Sharpish. Explosive cast coming out. Kyle stepping forward with the Smite, but it's Canyon that secures it. Kyle's going to dash away. Chovy looking for that backline. The lands onto Tarzan. There's the Permafrost follow-up, and Ruler takes the kill. Gen.G begin to turn and burn, but they get hit with a rocket. Shanks and Hope step forward onto Keen. Canyon on the backline. Hope turning it around onto Sejuani. A hook onto Shanks though, as he's rooted up and shut down. The Hexagon made him enough to kill him off. Flandre now caught out with the Permafrost. Kaio's gonna die to Keen, and Gen.G have found the fight. They follow it up for a clean ace.
And Gen.G, a topside fight in the jungle now, but a distant memory as another team fight is won. The Dragon goes their way, and Otacon sure to follow.
And I love how they set that up. Again, pushing out that bot wave.
So that is actually a big deal.
You can see how Shanks really struggled to have an impact in that last fight, only at 1.5k, whereas Chovy sitting at almost 5,000 damage, and it's a 5,500 gold lead now for Gen.G. Anyone's Legends are looking for a play onto Keen, who does have the flash. He knew something was going on. Tarzan's going for the chase here though. Underneath the tower, Tarzan's going to tank it up. There's the Miasma into the Petrifying Gaze, into the Impale. Hexagon made him from Keen into the flash. Oh, he missed the wall. He maybe would have escaped. But the hookshot wall dive just short.
Complete vision to set up for this Baron. They might just start it.
Ooh, how much was used there? Let's take a look at the cooldowns that AO invested. No Shanks ult, no Tarzan ult, no Kyle ult. As they start the object, it's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
They
Ruler is
can't get
so
it.
strong. 3 items already complete. Obviously, Chovy there as well. Rise at 2 items is just going to rip through.
Rise coming to join the rest of Gen.G, pushing on to this tier 2. I mean, Gen.G can pretty much set up the map however they want. They have such strong split pushers in this composition, and it just makes it so difficult for AL to go in.
There's also the Blitzcrank, right? At any point, if you engage, you need to the mid lane.
Canyon stepping forward. Kyle looking for it. Ruler, though, so safe, so far away. So hard to collapse on. Keen continues to push through top. Does have that teleport. Recalling now. Andre looking for a flank. No vision here for Gen.G. Now places a control ward in the tri-bush. Hope not really that strong, so his poke isn't really going to stick. TP comes in from Keen. As he looks for a flank of his own, has the GA, the hook connects again! And Chovy makes AL take a pew! Church is in session here for Gen.G. Keen on the backline, Flandre dead. Keen, you can't even pop his GA! The Angels are on the side of Gen.G. They get the triple, they get the ace, and they're looking to make it 21 series in a row.
Beautifully done from Gen.G. The picture-perfect execution of this composition. They are barreling down bot side for the end to move on at this MSI.
Nerves of steel for Gen.G in the final game. As Keen, yet another insane performance in this final one. As Gen.G.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.